January 26, 2009. This is Diehard Gamer Radio, episode 62.
Now with vowels.
You are approaching the target of attack. Your mission starts now. Are you ready? The countdown begins. 3, 2, 1, go!
You are listening to Diehard Gamer Radio, the source for off-mainstream video game news and topics. And now, your hosts, Murdock, Brian, John, and Steve.
Just a couple more shots.
Well,
Hey, buddy. Over here.
Oh.
Wanna buy a vowel?
I'm gonna have to buy at least a half dozen to get to the site.
That's
And,
mass
if you
marketing.
got any uppers in there too? Why not?
uppercase.
What about the letter Y? Well,
Yeah, but why?
Some guy has like a spoon and there's a vowel in the spoon. He's got like a flame under it.
Yeah, I could see Tycho mainlining a vowel.
Yeah. Freebasing, A and E and sometimes Y.
you do an 8-ball with a vowel?
You're really desperate.
Probably
you
Well,
not.
you really can't. You can't spell it without them.
You're really, if you're really desperate, you
I'm
would
not
do a
talking about
split
spelling, buddy.
infinitive between your toes.
Oh, this is excessively nerdy now.
Is that the
Nah.
stuff you find in between your toes?
It is a
Split
video game
infinitives?
podcast.
Oh. Maybe dangling participles, or is that
Yeah,
between your legs?
that's prostitution.
Oh,
Different racket entirely.
Only if you sell your dangling participles
Yes.
or rent them.
rent
Unless you're in
them.
Nevada
You can use this for 1 hour.
or Amsterdam.
Well, given the proven link between video games and all sorts of heinous moral crimes, we should all be experts on this stuff.
Well,
Yeah,
probably
I'm
right
still
about
testing
that.
things out. I'll get back to you.
we could be profiling people right now.
We could be doing the profiler.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would be a better show.
No, I mean we could be doing the profiler.
Oh,
It
Well,
would be a better show.
Yeah.
yeah, that would be a better
For
show.
me, it certainly would be because I'd be watching it.
If you dress like Yoshi for sex, does that make you a furry?
I think we already did that podcast.
Oh, geez, not this shit again.
Sorry, that was a flashback.
A flashback.
furry
What is this,
flashback.
Nam?
That's what I remember when I was fighting the furries in Danang.
I remember Super Mario World. Oh, those are the days. I'll never forget that dino.
Thousands of gray muzzles coming up the Mekong Delta. For more of that story, please
I didn't even
Go
know they
to
had
our,
pipes down there.
news section of our website, diehardgamerradio.com/furry.
It makes a tunnel rat sound kind of bright and cheerful, really.
No, tunnel rat is something completely different in the furry community.
You don't know horror until you're in the negative world. Let me tell you something.
There I was on my last legs, and then suddenly, from out of the blue, like something from heaven, a giant mushroom.
Yeah, I think what I would
The
want to
70s.
not see is the fire flower.
Yeah. Well, I was.
After you
Jumping
take enough
to-
mushrooms.
I needed to achieve my objective. My objective: slide down that goddamn flagpole one more time.
Just like gym class.
There were flagpoles in gym class.
You were sliding down them.
Well, we had to do something.
Uh,
We didn't really have a gym, so,
So,
we had to get creative.
On to the introduction.
Yeah, moving right along.
All right, so let's do this in I don't know what order we're gonna do this in. I'll just do it in whatever order. I feel like.
chronological.
Chronological.
Reverse
That's-
sequential.
We could roll for initiative.
Yeah.
We could.
I dare you to do
we
it
do have
in,
dice. We do
I
have Domokun dice.
I dare you to
Oh,
do
yeah.
it in reverse temporal
All right.
order.
Brian's got the Domokun dice here. Are you gonna
Uh,
attempt to roll those?
Well, I guess if you can ever get them out of the packaging, such as it is.
No domo.
All right.
More like a
That was,
bolo than a domo.
I'm not
Now you
sure
have to
what.
bolo something. Okay, the lamppost.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be a podcast about games, not
Where
Playing
you
games.
actually play games.
Yeah,
during
we're gonna
the
have 5
podcast.
minutes of silence while we're rolling dice.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm going to do the introductions anyway in the order in which I
Do it in
Really?
reverse temporal order.
report. What does that even mean?
It means you do it from
Yep.
the future backwards.
You have to watch Enterprise, apparently.
No, I don't. Tell me
that'd
where
be-
it says that.
That would be in a reverse tachyon order.
Oh, okay.
Inverse tachyon order.
All right. Well, I have Steve Walsh. I have
Oh, no. See, now you use my last name. My alias has been broken.
Oh, he's gonna have to kill
now
you
you're
at the
gonna
end of
have
the
like
podcast.
stalkers.
I
That's
am.
gonna be totally creepy.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
we have John Krukoff.
Oh no, we use mine too.
We have
No.
Brian
No,
Jones.
don't!
Oh yeah, like when they put in your name in Google, it's gonna come up with 50 billion names.
Well,
Yeah,
but now
probably
when the
most of them
NSA
Rolling
runs their
Stone.
special
Yeah,
pattern
they're-
matcher
they're
on
gonna
all
be-
of this.
When Carnivore version 17.2 runs.
And I am Chris Murdock, the coolest guy here.
Look at it, you didn't even use his real name.
That is my real name.
Part of your
Liar.
real name.
Well, I hate my first name.
It's like
You're
it's,
using full names here.
it's
though.
your real name, like Gene Simmons is his real name.
Oh, okay. Well, it's Lawrence.
Yeah.
I just got my braces in today.
Yeah.
When they
well,
come FedEx.
Yeah.
all Murdock has to say is the rest of the podcast he's gonna have to ask his manager.
I'm gonna have to ask my manager now. This is if we ever do a podcast live from GameStop.
Pleading the fifth at a 7-Eleven.
Oh, we
we
can
should-
see how long it would take us to get kicked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go in and ask for Battletoads. That'll do it. I think they've all been traumatized with that by now.
I'm
That,
looking
wa-
for
that was
Punky
B's
Skunk.
major sport for like 2 months was just looking up the local GameStops and posting the numbers on B and telling people to ask for Battletoads.
We could just keep putting in a pre-order on Duke Nukem Forever every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
the new Godzilla game.
you have no plans for the rest of your life, huh, John? All right, so let's move on to the news. Our first news: EGM Magazine is no more, which kind of sucks for Brian because I think he had a subscription.
You know what? It's weird. It expired back in, God, I want to say June or July. And what was weird is they kept sending me issues, even though it came with a little expiration letter packaged inside. They're like, "We'd really like to have you back."
This explains why they went out of business. They were
Yeah.
giving people magazines.
I don't know what it was, but it just cracked me up. I got it all the way up until the last issue before their anniversary issue
Were-
would have hit too.
Were you being like Gabe and you were like giving teeth to the magazine fairy?
No, I had no intention of continuing it because I paid for a 5-year subscription 5 years ago. So I figured when it ended, and I was tired of it like beginning of this year because it just didn't serve a purpose anymore. I got online and did more stuff, or learned more that way. So they had good writing on there, and I enjoyed reading the stuff. It just most of it I had already read by the time I got the magazine. So
Yeah.
I think that was their main reason for falling out. Finally dying out was it's just too late to get the news.
Well, the true tragedy here is that 1UP is also dead in the transition.
Yeah, that was
which
kind of
means
weird.
That 1UP Yours is going to be off the air, which was the best video gaming podcast on the
It was a good
interwebs.
podcast.
Well, now,
Other than Diehard Gamer Radio.
yeah, now we
it
can
was
take
way
their
better
spot.
than this shit.
No,
Hey.
tell us what you think of us.
Hey,
He's
we're
using,
we're
he's
a
using
high-quality
reverse
shit.
psychology.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
We're the worst podcast ever. Rah, rah, rah.
You
Hey,
should
how
listen.
many
Listen,
people are
so
listening?
as bad as we are, we're always going to be better than the Maxim.
If Control Alt Delete had a podcast,
Yeah, it would be. I think he does.
People
Oh
be
my
hitting
God.
people be hitting the escape button.
I'm sure if it's Control Delete, so I'm sure you have to pay for it.
Oh well. Enough of that. So
Random insults for Control Delete out of nowhere.
what do you
I
mean
like
random?
there's-
There's probably a website. It's like
Yeah, it's called
Control
slash.
Alt Delete.
It's called /CO on 4chan.
Yeah. Okay. So next up.
Man, those guys hate Control Delete.
Yeah. Well.
Irrationally rabid hatred.
That's
So
because
it's
it's
not
not
that bad of a
very
strip.
good.
No, it used to be.
They
good.
got a good one about every 10 strips or so.
Yeah. So next up, the new rock band might be Lego Rock Band. Is
New
this-
rock band?
Rock
Rock
band.
band. Rock band.
Is that like a
I don't
raccoon
think
rock
this
band?
is official. I think this is rumor mongering still.
Yeah, there's been a lot of rumors of this recently, and I think it's just getting passed around like a bad flu.
How would it be any different than Rock Band?
Well, the build a rocker screen would look a little different.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah, and you have to buy extra pieces.
Well, of the few Lego games I've played, they've all been pretty buggy. So I don't hold up much hope for Lego Rock Band.
I don't know. I've been enjoying Star Wars trilogy on the 360.
Dude, I played that Star Wars trilogy. It was
Or
really
complete saga rather.
Well, when I played one of the Star Wars Legos has all three in it, right? The first Star Wars Legos.
The
one?
trilogy has the
Has
4, 5, and 6.
4, 5, and 6. I
Yeah.
was playing that one, and man, that really pissed the hell out of me half the time.
Well, I hope they
Like-
fixed it because I'm playing the saga now, which has all of them plus extra stuff. So maybe by now they went through and debugged it.
I sure hope so.
So
Also, you kind of did the same thing over and over again, which really didn't. Of
yeah,
course,
welcome to every
that's kinda-
platform game known to man.
Not even a platform.
Well,
and
Lego's
you know,
more redundant.
What do you think their target audience was for a Lego Star Wars game?
Well, Star Wars fans, really. Which
Under
are
6?
Well, Star Wars fans, there are people that tend to buy the same things over and over again anyway. So
And looking at the first 3 movies, who do you think they think their fans are?
people that buy things over and over again.
Yep.
And people who are 10.
Are you
Just saying.
saying Jar Jar
Mentally
heads?
10 or actually 10?
Jar.
Well,
wait.
both, obviously.
All right. So next up, and this will interest Brian and myself, might interest John, is the Radiant Silvergun XBLA remake, and this is a big maybe. But apparently, Microsoft has approached Treasure about giving the cult arcade classic arcade and Saturn shmup a makeover for XBLA.
Yeah, but Treasure came back and officially said no.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they said they couldn't do it justice with just a straight port of the arcade version, and or the Saturn version. And if they wanted to remake it, they wanted to do it right and actually redo everything.
Remake it as a game, probably too, not as a
And
download.
actually, remake all the graphics and everything, not just do a port of the original.
Hey, I'm all for making a solid game in case. I'd pay for it. I definitely enjoyed that game. It's probably one of the best shmups
Yeah,
of all
but I
time.
would rather not let people play Radiant Silvergun.
Okay.
See, the thing is,
This is
that
a little
if-
bit of
if-
schmup elitism here.
He's
it
just
is,
reverse
it is
psychology
because
again.
Well, it's import elitism
nothing
too.
is nothing is any good if anyone else likes it.
Yeah, but
so-
all shooter fans like
No, I'm
Radiant
talking
Silvergun.
about not shooter fans. I'm talking about people who aren't shooter fans who don't deserve to play Radiant Silvergun. Those
Oh,
are the
No,
people I'm
no.
talking
See,
This
you
is
need,
like
they
the
need to be
questionable-
more elite.
True
This is
shmup
like the
fans
questionable
know this is
content
Yeah.
indie band maxim,
Yeah.
where the best indie band in the world is the one that nobody's ever heard of,
That's right.
including that band itself.
That's why the greatest shmup of all time is Star Shooter Sandvane, because no one's ever heard of it.
There you go. There's a solid nomination.
Yet I still have a copy of it.
Well, you would. But,
Well,
you know,
Radiant Silvergun is just the holy grail to shmup fans. That is the
Or
thing.
at least
and
the
it's-
holy price tag.
That's
there
because it
are
was so
more
short
expensive
printed.
games than
There's a
Radiant
couple out
Silvergun.
there that are much more expensive than Radiant Silvergun. It's actually held. It peaked out and then it held that value. That's the unique thing is it's never really gone much higher. You can buy a copy anywhere between about 100 to 175, depending on who's selling
Or
it.
get that, new sealed copy from Play Asia for 400.
Well, this is no Sapphire, mind you, but it's a much better game actually. But point being, it's still it's not worth the 400, obviously.
I can't even run Sapphire, so. And I have a Turbo Duo.
You need a special upgrade that was not
Actually, you need the
available?
arcade card to run
Yeah,
it.
the arcade card.
The arcade system card to run it.
He needs the quad core turbo duo.
So moving on from really obscure shooter trivia.
Age of Conan drops half their servers, which I'm sure really hurts Steve, even though you weren't playing it.
Yes, they walked into the room, picked up the server, and dropped it on the ground.
Well, apparently it was a good idea because they they had a lot of people spread over a bunch of servers, and now they have the same number of people that aren't in wastelands by themselves looking for.
Yeah,
other
they
players.
dropped it from
So-
49 servers to 18.
They haven't been
49
making noises
servers?
about
Yeah.
actually killing
Holy
everything
ex-
off yet, though. So it still
Holy
seems okay.
expectations, Batman.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well-
we're gonna fill every one of these up. We're gonna need all 49 of these.
They
What a
did for the
waste.
first
They
couple
did,
months.
but the problem was
they?
there was no game after 20. So they the
So it's
game was
tabula
it was a
rasa all over again.
It was a great one-player game that you happened to be able to play with other people till 20, and then after 20, the content petered out really fast. And plus, a bunch of their PvP stuff after 20 wasn't ready for launch. All it's the normal it's a normal MMO thing where they got the game out before it was really done. So
Yeah.
Uh, although I still hope that they come out with a 360 version of it. Even
I
though
heard they were canceling it.
they did
so-
cancel it.
No, I haven't heard
Oh,
that they have. So
Yeah, because it would still be nice to see an MMO that wasn't Final Fantasy 11 on the consoles.
yes, it would nice to be. It would also be nice to never see Final Fantasy 11. But we can only hope.
By the way, for our listening audience, Brian is getting over some sort of bug or something. What
It was
is
a VW. It came and went.
Did it have a German accent?
Yeah, bastard hit me
SARS.
from behind. I never saw him coming.
Yeah.
It's getting over SARS.
Brian, you must buy the Rotonde.
Stop being a Euro hater.
All right. So next up, and this interests, I don't know who
Who
this
cares?
It interests no one
It may
on the
interest
planet.
you.
So I'm
No,
glad
it's
So
not.
glad
this
it's
is
on
when
the
you should
list.
go and get some Cheetos.
Andrew
Whoever you are.
Lloyd-Webber video game in the works.
Oh, this thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh,
Interests high school theatrical buffs everywhere.
Yeah, it's like High School Musical 3.
So Disney's producing this, is what you're saying?
No, it's actually from the developers called Really Useful Group. And from
Really?
a quote from the developer is with the video gaming audience having moved from its male-dominated roots toward a more family-oriented demographic, now is the perfect time for us to take some of the best-known names in musical entertainment in a more interactive direction. He gets points out for
it's
using the word interactive.
so it can't be bad.
I
Would
think
you
they
like the
just need
translation
to-
of the marketing speak? We saw Guitar Hero's sales numbers, and we bought a license that we could do some shovelware on.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
But come on, Andrew Lloyd-Webber.
I think somebody needs to smoke some more crack. 'Cause apparently, it didn't work right the first time.
I wouldn't go admitting singing Cats to anyone.
Phantom of the Opera.
What was it? What did he do? Starlight Express too?
Oh, Avita and Cats and shit.
Did he do Jesus Christ Superstar too?
No, he
Did
did
he
not.
do
I don't think he did,
the French one, the
the French one,
Bone? No,
The
Bone.
Miserables.
Le Miserable. Yeah.
the Miserables. Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
the
that is the
Miserable.
translation.
I know that
isn't
what the
it?
translation is, but why would you? Why
Sounds
would you
like a-
have
what-
people
the
go to your?
Miserables? What is that? Like a Pixar movie? They come after the Incredibles.
It's the new Burton CG flick.
Well, I don't understand. I mean, I've never understood the thought of I want people to go to my musical, so I'm going to name it Miserable. Because
It's like a Dr.
that's what you'll
Zhivago
be when you
live
come to my
action.
musical.
People went to see Cats, too.
Over and over and over again.
Yeah. Why? What was up with that?
Well, they were trying to get over their
Furry
trauma
fetish?
from being raped
Oh.
by Mr. Mephistopheles.
I think they all just had deep-seated furry fetishes.
I mean,
Yeah,
obviously, titles are not an important part of the theater marketing.
No, it's
experience.
Andrew
Apparently
Lloyd Webber.
not.
So people that like musicals but not really musicals will go see it.
They don't read the musicals; they just read the critiques from the critic after they've seen the musical.
That sounds like a solid plan to me.
Yeah. We'll see how that goes. Of course,
Probably
you know
not well.
they say family oriented, but it's Andrew Lloyd Webber, so lots of gay men will probably be buying it.
Gays can have families, too.
No, they're legally not allowed, depending on your state. Offer void in Utah.
Actual laws may vary.
So welcome back to Die Hard Gamer Radio. That was a nice commercial break we came out of. Let's go on to the next topic.
Would that coupon expire?
Yeah. We is driven by girls and women. I know there's a joke in
Well,
here somewhere.
Explains why they crashed.
anybody
so-
who's
oh.
made it past high school pretty much figured that one out.
Yeah. So according to Ann Hamilton, the senior brand manager with game publisher Ubisoft, she says what's driving the Wii sales is the use of Wii by women, girls, and families. It's a really female-driven platform.
Would you say goodbye,
Whatever.
women?
I
It's
got nothing.
driven by people who saw somebody playing Wii Sports and wanted to have a Wii Sports machine at home.
Pretty much.
I could bowl too.
Yeah, you can. So, I mean, I'm all for women playing with Wii. I'm trying to build a joke here, and
Dude, you've been
it's not working.
It was
too
there
much
and went.
Japan. Too much
missed it.
Japan.
Too much Japan?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was there and gone.
Some quick hardware news. The Nintendo DSi is supposedly coming out on April 4th. So for those who don't have a DS and want an easy way to load pirated games onto their DS, now's your chance in April.
Make sure you start
Apparently.
searching the net about a week before, and somebody will release the sale code at Target, and you can just go in and ask them to pull one out of the back room.
It's the SKU. So, I don't think. Does anyone here have any interest in the new DS?
No.
No. Steve, no.
Will it blow me?
Depends on how you use the stylus, I guess. I'm not sure.
I doubt it. I think
Okay.
that's not what that is.
Okay.
I think the
Maybe
answer
that'll
you're
be the
looking
second
for is
iteration,
no.
the DSi Blow.
No.
All right. So next up, Zork returns as an MMO
Zork!
called The Legends of Zork. It's the legendary adventure returning to your browser. For some
Didn't know it
strange-
left.
So is it still
these
going to
might-
be text-based?
I know,
'Cause
Yeah.
a text-based MMO in this day and age?
You-
That's
you-
crazy talk.
You can't. Text-based MMO.
Next, they're going to have Ralph
The
Wiggum for
Zork
president.
Zork Mud.
That would be awesome. No,
I don't think it would work very well. It would require people to type.
Like
That
typing
would
of
be
the
even
dead.
better is it's just, a terminal playing Zork, and everybody logs into the same terminal.
Yes.
Just a cooperative typing exercise.
Or not so cooperative. As the
Yeah,
case might be.
after about the third person, it becomes not so cooperative.
Why can't I connect to the server?
Yeah. Fucking
What?
Gru! Fucking Gru! Fuck you, Gru! Fuck you!
They could never make an actual Gru that was as awesome as the Gru.
No. They could not.
Yes. And speaking about MMOs, apparently Samurai Showdown is going to be made online.
We'll see.
Is
about
it also
that.
going to be an MMO?
Yes, from what I understand.
I'll believe it when I see it.
There's already character designs on it. What was it? I think it was like Famitsu.com had them. So, you, I guess,
Ever there was an
wanted to play
MMO,
an
that would probably
MMO?
be the one to get me involved. So we'll see.
Well, yeah, but are you willing to pay a monthly fee for it?
I don't know. Better be damn good.
A fighting game might not be a bad basis for an MMO. Kind of disjointed plot, random people just fighting each other for no damn reason whenever they bump into each other.
Would be cool to just go up and street fight with somebody as opposed to going up and hacking and slashing. That'd be actually a cool idea.
You can do that in real life too without having to pay a monthly fee.
Oh yeah, but I'm all about paying the monthly fee. I mean, that's
Oh,
part of the
yeah.
experience.
Might as well give money to those, people who really, really need it. Yeah,
Chinese gold farmers.
exactly. Would there be gold farming in a fighting game MMO? That'd be kind of interesting. What would you spend money on?
Headbands.
Steroids?
Ooh, yeah.
I was watching G4 one night, and they had it was what's their main game show on there?
G4? You mean X-Play?
No, not X Play, the other one, the
Attack of the Show?
Attack of the Show. Yeah, they were doing some skit based on some YouTube video they had of the YouTube video was something about farmers. It was like a Match.com for farmers only. And they had showed all these farming people talking together, and this is where you go if you're a farmer and you want to meet somebody. And they were joking about it. They did their little skit and had a couple of different farming people in there. And the third farmer was some Asian guy they got from in their back room to say, yeah, my name is Yin. I'm a gold farmer. I enjoy doing this and farming for gold for your pleasure, and I will sell gold for any time. It was just a great skit, though.
That's hardly accurate at all. He just needs to come up there and start shouting, "Gold for sale! Buy here!"
Funny thing was, they're talking about it afterwards. They're like, "Yeah, that guy doesn't know a lick of any Asian language at all. He speaks more, white than I do." So it was really funny to watch him try to put on an accent.
Just have to get up there and you just go, hey, gold.
All right. So moving on, news that interests just me.
Awesome. I can see why you put it on the news list then.
I'm sensing a little bias here.
Deathsmiles sequel to be originally called Deathsmiles 2, which will come out real
Surprise.
soon.
That's way too restrained for a
I'm still gonna buy an
Japanese
import
shooter
360 to
sequel.
play it though.
The original Deathsmiles is coming out on Xbox Live Arcade,
Oh, cool.
but I doubt it'll come out in this country.
Yeah.
So I will need to find another way to play with Gothic Lolitas.
Well, we still have to get an import 360, and then we have to get an
I
account
think
through.
there is a way that you can download import games on Xbox Live Arcade. I would have
You
to.
need a credit card with a Japanese billing address.
You
If you
do.
want to buy things
Wasn't
off
that
the
the same
Japanese
thing with the
marketplace.
PlayStation 3 when it first came out too? 'Cause you had to have a Japanese address and a Japanese credit card, supposedly. That's
Because
all
I
they
mean,
needed.
you can set up a Xbox Live Silver account for Japan, no problem.
Okay.
Just put in any Japanese address, works fine. But then you need something. You need a credit card that matches that address to be able to, buy any points for it. I don't
Can't
know.
you
Maybe
just
you
use
could
just
buy
normal
a points
points?
card,
Yeah.
or maybe you might have to buy a
Oh.
Japanese points card. But I don't know.
Well, they aren't points.
Those are for
points.
sale.
I
So
mean, does it matter?
Well,
they
no, the
sell them
cards
for
are
different
marked, aren't they?
prices in different regions, so there might be some fiddly bits there.
Yeah, and I'll bet you anything the code in the back of the card is actually marked for the region somehow too.
Maybe, maybe not. But you could probably go on Amazon.co.jp and order a points card.
Or go to NCS or PlayAsia probably has them.
I don't see why
I
not.
don't know why people would import points cards.
No, they
Yeah.
were selling PlayStation 3 cards originally on NCS because you couldn't get them here if you wanted to do things for Japanese games. I remember that. I bet they do sell them.
So, well, we shall see.
You have to do a little research.
Yeah.
Well, buy a cheap points card from Walmart, set up a Japanese account, and try.
Well, actually,
see what
since
happens.
Circuit City is going out of business,
Have they
I
actually
think-
put a markdown on that stuff?
I think it's starting at 10%.
There's a guy on the Neo Geo forums
Yeah,
right
that's
now. In
currently
fact,
what
that's,
Amazon has as their markdown on
Mm.
points cards.
there's a guy in the forums right now that's selling his Japanese PS3, and he's got an American account on it and 2 Japanese accounts that are. He had one Japanese and one Asian because he had one from each market, so he could download stuff. So it's got to be possible. We just got to find a forum how-to out there or some blog how-to out there how to do it.
Or I'll just email Keegan and see what he says.
Yeah, you could. I talked
Get
to him
your
on.
genders right. It's insulting.
Big props out to Keegan, by the way. He sent me a game for free that I told him I wanted on LJ. So we
What
ended up
game?
talking on 360 for about an hour and a half one night.
What game is that?
I think it was Sector X. In Sector X. It's an old Mega Drive.
Oh yeah, that
shmup.
was the game. Yeah, I was getting rid of some game. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, that's cool, man. A little old school. So he paid to ship it and everything. It was really cool. But I was on Xbox Live one night. He saw me, so he shot me a little message, and we just started talking. And like an hour and a half later, he talked me into buying some stuff too that I want to go get. So got to make a run up to Game Force Boulder here soon.
Yeah, we're planning on that. You want to join us, John?
I don't know.
Maybe sometime next month. I was thinking.
I've been pretty disappointed the last couple of times I've been up there.
Well, yeah, but maybe this time they'll have that copy of Target Earth that you've always wanted.
Maybe, just maybe.
I'll finally find the power shovel controller I've always dreamed of.
Dude, you're gonna have to import that, man. You're gonna
I'm
have to
so
go to
ticked
Japan.
off. I lost that link, man. I can't find it again now. I don't know where it was, that one you found originally.
I tried to import it, but they wouldn't ship it here.
All right. So next up, some quick news. Jalico is leaving the game business. They are no
I
more.
heard about that.
What else do they do?
Well, apparently, they made games like the Suchi Pai Mahjong series, Choplifter, P47
No,
Punk.
no.
What?
What would they do if they're not doing video games?
They're not. They have sold all their IP to a game purveyor, Gamero, for 1 yen per IP.
So they're not really
What?
stopping doing video games. They're stopping existing.
Well, yeah, pretty
All
much.
Huh.
They sold it for 1 yen per IP plus a shitload of debt they had.
Well, yeah,
Well,
there's that.
Because you can't just give it. You have to sell it for something. So.
well, it's about time for a new Choplifter game, I suppose.
Yeah, we could put it on the Wii.
Choplifter. Good
You can
times.
just wiggle the remote like that, just frantically for
Stop
the
it, you're gonna
helicopter
hurt
blades.
Yourself.
What now?
You're gonna hurt yourself.
I already.
Then we're
kinda
gonna have to wonder what you're gonna be like. Oh, my wrist hurts, and we're gonna have
By
to.
the
make
end of the
fun you.
podcast,
So-
it'll be Kmart sucks and.
What? Okay.
And in other game industry news, Tecmo and Koei merged.
Yes, they did. So now there will be a
Romance of the
Dynasty
Tecmo
Warriors
Ball.
Dead or Alive.
Well, I'm kind of hoping for Dynasty Warriors Deception because that would actually
That
be
would-
pretty entertaining.
That would actually, that would work real well.
I want to see
mean,
traps go off and fling entire armies across the
That would
battlefield.
be excellent.
Maybe like Odama 2.
Perhaps.
We should need another giant pinball RTS game, please.
It'll be Romance of the 12 Tecmo Balls.
Yeah, Romance of the Ninja Gaiden.
Yep.
Ugh.
On the
Any
other
other
hand, I think
obscure Tecmo games I could think of that I can mix with Koei franchises.
well, there's really only the one Koei franchise.
Yeah,
They
the
just
one that
keep
never
putting a different
stopped.
name on it.
Dynasty Renegade. You did Renegade?
No,
Tecmo do Renegade?
no, that was Taito.
Oh.
Solomon's
that-
key. Solomon's Key of Nobunaga. There we go.
Yeah.
There, that's obscure.
I thought
Nobunaga's
Renegade
Key.
was Data East.
Solomon's Key. For Christ's sake.
Well, it was either that or Mighty Bomb Jack. I mean,
Oh,
I was kind of
Nobunaga.
reaching here.
Still are.
a Rygar and some Koei franchise that.
Yeah.
they could
Except,
mix
aren't
that
they releasing that new Rygar this month?
with.
Yeah, I think it is
believe
out.
so. Was it
the
on the
the full
Wii?
game one that's coming out. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how that works out.
Retail momentum.
Yes.
They put it into the supply chain and then they like just said, nope, hopefully it'll get to the store.
Yep. So next up, Ubisoft announces more sequels. Gee, what a surprise! So Assassin's Creed 2, which apparently takes place during the French Revolution.
Yeah.
Red
Well,
Steel
they
2,
didn't
which
have
you
a
know,
lot of story left out of the first setting.
yeah. Red Steel 2, which I'm sure no one is interested in because the first
Well,
one sucked.
I still have semi hopes for that. I've got to believe that they've learned something from the first beta test.
But
It's
is it-
supposed to be one of the first games to require the Motion Plus.
Yeah, so we'll see if they fuck that up too.
But is it a game is the lesson they learned not to make a crappy game? That will be the question.
That's the only lesson there, really.
Splinter Cell Conviction, which I don't know if anyone's interested in the Splinter Cell series.
They've kind of run that one into the ground.
And,
Yeah,
and like a
seems
new
like.
Ghost Recon.
They're gonna do a Splinter Cell World War II game, and then it'll all be set.
Then our lives will be complete, Steve?
Yeah, it'll be like Splinter Cell World War II Dead or Alive caliber.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
So the Photoshop for this episode is going to be pretty much just any game franchise and just blending it all together.
Any game franchise that's been run into the ground.
That would be all of them.
Photoshop Sunday or
They haven't done it with Assassin's Creed yet. They've only had one.
No, they've had two. There's one on the DS.
That doesn't count.
Wow.
That's like saying the Double Dragon for NES was a Double Dragon game.
It is a Double Dragon game.
No, it
It's
isn't.
called Double Dragon.
No,
You
it is
beat
not.
people up.
No.
there was a Double Dragon game for the Neo Geo.
And Assassin's Creed.
And the
It was
Master
a
System
fighting
had
game.
one.
The
Master
one on the
System
Neo
had one.
Geo was actually pretty cool.
And the Master System one was pretty cool too. But it just the one for the NES was nothing like Double Dragon. So
Yeah.
it's like, well, we got the name. Let's make a new game. It's not like we already had one.
Yeah. Can I get a copy of
Who's being
Battletoads?
the elitist now? It's
Yeah,
not
it's
like
a-
the real
it's-
Double Dragon.
It's not like the real Double Dragon in any way, shape, or form. You couldn't even play 2-player on it.
So it was really one dragon.
Yeah. It's like a Double
Single
Dragon. It's one
dragon.
player. Like, what the hell's wrong with you people?
All right. Are we done with that?
Maybe.
Okay.
Talk about Star
I
Trek.
might regurgitate
No.
it later.
Oh, the other interesting one they're talking about giving a sequel is De Blob on the Wii.
I've heard some things about this game, but I haven't actually played it. Have you played The Blob?
I played the original student project that it was based on. Not owning a Wii, I can't play the actual game that's out for it.
Oh.
But they did a really good job with that one, and the art style for it has always been quite interesting. Doesn't look like anything else out there. Has a nice, cheerful presentation.
Speaking about 2D presentations and all, the guy that
Not actually 2D.
well,
Your segue is unrelated, just so you know.
just stop Stop being that.
Why do you have to hate me?
The guy that created Braid apparently is coming out with a new
He's
RPG
doing an
project.
MMO, isn't
Well, maybe. No, I mean, he's
Or is it
in his
RPG?
latest interview. He said, "I'm working on a 2D RPG, but I don't want to talk about it because it will probably be something different next month."
he? Yeah.
Ah,
Not really finalized. Yeah.
How does that work in the game development?
He's getting financed by a
Uh,
company for this, though, I think. I think this is something that he's being paid to do.
yeah, they're
It's-
buying him chicken nuggets.
Did he make any money off Braid?
I
It
believe
sold
so.
enough copies. He had to make something.
Well, he he got enough out of it to keep making games,
Yeah, that's
Well,
probably
there's
about
that.
it, really.
Yeah.
and he had I think 3 years of his time to pay for out of all of that. So
Yeah.
seems like he did okay.
Okay. So next up, our last bit of gaming news. Apparently, there's now a dating site for gamers.
Oh,
I
the
added this in
UK
for
one?
humor value.
Yeah.
So
wouldn't
when
be a
you
bad
search
idea.
for available women,
There's like a 10 to 1
it's
man
like-
to
it's
woman
like
real
ratio.
yes, you get men.
No, it's like selecting Mega Man bosses.
Yes.
No, the secret of it is you just
Your
find
picture's in the middle, and there's like 8 surrounding ones.
you just find other people to play games with.
Well,
My Xbox Live or game tag is.
Yeah, but yes, one of them is cut girl, the other one's blow girl, the other one is.
No, I think it should just be a lottery system. Men sign up, and if you win, you get the chance to email one of the women
Oh,
on the
that's-
site.
Oh, God.
excellent. And plus, it is a dating site, so you don't need, to play a video game to, actually have the experience of actually playing games.
All you're gonna
What?
find on there are women that like either Wii games or like We Sing
Or men.
or Dance Dance Revolution. That's about
Or female gamers that aren't gamers. They're just,
or furries.
well,
Well, you have to find female gamers who have something enough wrong with them not to be in a relationship.
which means stalker.
Yeah.
really now.
Yeah,
They're
just ask
so
David
far
Letterman.
out of the normal dating pool. Yeah. It's really this is
They're
this
so
is what they
embarrassed
call
because
in
they're a gamer.
Starfleet Academy a no-win scenario.
The Kobayashi Maru of dating.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, one guy won it.
Yes, he reprogrammed the girl.
That's not the point.
It
How does
would,
that
however,
work?
be interesting to find out if dating was, play a round of Gears of War together and see if they actually revive your ass or not.
Is that the true sign?
It's when if you're
Might
playing
be.
if you're playing Gears and she yells, "God damn it, Dom!" It's love.
Then you know what to do
hmm
in the pooper,
In the expansion port.
in the scuzzy.
No.
You need an add-on accessory for that.
Well, maybe you do. I
It's a
don't-
wireless
I don't really know.
controller.
Oh, if you need a wireless controller, I think you're doing it wrong.
Yeah. Well, just have
Tell
extra
Nintendo
batteries in
that.
case.
All right. So
Now we've used up that premise.
yes. So next up, our monthly installment of Steve's Star Trek news.
Actually, I haven't actually checked out any of the news for this.
All right. Well, moving on.
I probably should.
What's
Uh,
the release date for it going to be? now?
Sometime in the future.
Is it gonna? They're gonna try and make it a summer blockbuster.
I
Originally, they
I
had
have no
moved it
idea.
up to it was May something or
I
early
can't
June.
believe they're going to get it out this year. I just can't believe that.
I think they're
Is
too
this the
far
movie
behind.
or the MMO?
MMO.
And it has been really quiet the last couple of months. I
Yeah,
haven't seen
I was
squat
seeing-
announced about it. They're
I
not
was
even
seeing-
publicizing it.
I haven't seen like news releases or screenshots. They were putting them out like once a week, like a bunch of them for like a couple months, and now it's just like nothing
That's not really a
So
build up
they
to
had
hype.
the
It's just
stock
kind
of stuff left over from when they sold
from
it.
Cryptic. Yeah, and then well, supposedly Jumpgate Evolution is supposed to be out in second quarter.
Yeah, I got an
Which could be
email
cool.
about that.
So
There's like 450,000 people in the beta sign up for that.
So
So
Ste-
good luck.
One hell of a beta test.
So, Steve, now that we've gone over the Star Trek news, do you have any sex droid news you want to add on to that?
Let me think.
Has Japan built one yet?
No, there
I'm
was
sure-
that guy in Canada who made like a really crappy one out of a real doll. see that? That was like a month ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
that was really
I think you
awful.
got like 15 emails.
Yeah,
from
I
your
had like
friends.
15 people sending me that, going, check it out. And I'm like going, this sucks. And I mean, not in the good way.
The Canadian
It
robots
sucks and
they-
poorly
they
at that.
just no good.
Well, at least he didn't make it out of an actual real doll. He made it out of one of the actual good sex dolls from Japan.
He didn't
so it
have
did
10
look
grand
like.
plus parts.
Well, he's like a robotics guy, and so he kind of made one. But he all he did was take one of the ones that almost, if not totally, goes over the uncanny valley from Japan, where they apparently know how to make animatronics that don't look creepy, and he made some little articulations and servos and stuff. He claims that it can walk on its own. I really don't believe it, because like, how many robots are bipedal these days? Not many.
And it's
And I
called the
think they're
Cherry
owned by
2000.
Honda.
Yeah, I think Honda has all of them. They look like they have a back problem when they walk.
Yeah.
So
So, are you planning on importing one of these sex dolls from Japan?
dude, they're
He's
like
definitely not getting it from
really
Canada.
Well,
dude,
you
they're
didn't
like,
answer my
I mean,
question.
seriously, they're very expensive. Like, we're talking, I could buy a car for how much some of these cost.
An expensive car.
Yeah. Well, you could buy a Daewoo.
That's right in your price range, there, isn't it?
Well, the real dolls in the U.S. run between $4,000 and $5,000 for one that doesn't suck.
And then if you customize anything on it,
Yeah,
it gets
and
more
then
more
for the
And
expensive.
it's really
Japanese
hard to
ones-
get the option for ones that do suck.
Yeah. There's a number of developers that are developing these animatronic sex motion things. But the good ones from Japan are, you're talking $9,000 minimum retail, but then you'd have to import it, and they weigh like 110 pounds, and they put them in big shipping crates and put them on ships. I mean, you're talking a good 12, 15 grand by the time you get this thing. Then where are you gonna put it? Just sits in the house? You're like, hey, if somebody came over, check it out. There's a dead woman in a chair over there. That's really great.
For the
That's
job
not
You know, when it
creepy at
shows
all.
up in your door with the maximum booby edition along the side
Yeah,
of
it's
the
got
box.
it's got the lowly edition with the maximum booby add-ons. It's like it shows up with custom agents and FBI guys.
They better ship her with a dolly too, for crying out loud.
Yeah,
Having to
I mean, they're
move
huge.
around 110 pounds on a constant.
Yeah.
Not fun.
Well, they got metal endoskeletons. So
They better put like wheels in her ankles or something.
yeah,
Oh, you mean like Inspector Gadget?
yes, yeah. You can get
That'd
these.
be like those shoes where you pop out the wheel on the bottom and they're like instant,
Yeah.
Inline skates.
It's the
Maybe
Inspector
you flick
Gadget
her
edition.
pinky toe or something and a wheel pops
So there's
out.
everything you ever want to know about sex droids that you didn't want to know.
Yeah. And why do you know all this?
Because I like robots
Inspector
and animatronics
Sex
and
Gadget.
cyberpunk stuff like that.
Yeah, you
Ah.
might be onto something.
What now?
Inspector Sex Gadget.
Insector Gadget.
No, that's like buggy.
Insextor
I want mine
Gadget.
bug free.
That's bad too.
Insextor Gadget.
Nobody wants Incestor.
I don't know. It might sell down in the south.
Ah.
Dum.
I'm just
So,
saying.
do you have any opinion on sex droids, John?
I guess that's a no.
Wow. No, I can't think of any. Nope, nothing good there.
All right. This is one of those situations where it's best to just keep your mouth shut.
Well, unless you're the sex droid.
Huh?
Just saying.
What, add voice
But what are you
synthesis to
saying?
it? Add voice to it?
Actually, there are
Yeah,
ones that have the.
that's
have
what I
voice.
was-
Be able to play your iPod on it?
Right.
How would you play your iPod on it?
You just plug it in somewhere.
Yeah,
You
but
put it
what
on
would
her
happen?
lap?
It's got to have a speaker somewhere. Voice has to come from somewhere.
Hey, you put speakers in her ears. Now that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, okay, well, we'll get
Ins-
for your birthday. I'm
Inspector
buying you
Sex
the,
Gadget. I'm telling you.
for your birthday, I'm buying you the Chobits DVD set.
Oh, yeah. And of course, with the sex droid, the sex gadget, you're going to end up having Dr. Claw chase after it all the
Yep.
time. So,
Hey, check it out. She's playing my song, and I think it's coming out of her ears.
Moving
I don't know.
on.
I think the part that would be really bad about buying a sex droid is when they ask you if you want the extended warranty.
yeah.
No,
Is that-
definitely not going to sell at Best Buy.
The real dolls come with repair kits in case the skin rips.
Was it like a bicycle repair kit?
No, it's like
Kinda.
that vinyl stuff you buy at AutoZone to fix your seats.
It's caulk.
Kind of is. Kind of is.
All right.
Which makes
Oh,
you think,
man.
maybe you should be making this out of better stuff. But
What else is there that's going to give it that gelatinous skin real feel thing.
I don't know.
Wood?
Maybe they could make it out of real skin.
No.
Next thing you know, you'll be suggesting a real girl. That's
Along with
ridiculous.
a
That's nonsense. You're
Along-
totally off track with that.
Along
whole
with a nice
thing.
Chianti.
You're doing it all wrong. You're going
Yeah.
the wrong direction.
Besides, real girl, much more expensive than a real doll.
Well, over time,
Yeah.
unless you tend to be like, unless you're like you trade it in and buy a new one every 3 years, you gotta lease your sex dolls.
Oh, you mean like that Hyundai thing that they're running where if you lose your job,
Yeah, you can return
just
your sex
return it?
doll.
I hope there isn't a market for used sex droids.
Oh, I'm sure there will be. Give us 35 years.
Oh, man.
Cherry
There
5000.
kind of was in there. There was one implied in Standalone Complex, where they
Huh.
had like the early versions of these androids that people had, and they became collector's items, and they weren't under warranty anymore. But people would demand that they made parts for them so they could repair them on their own and stuff. It's kind of interesting.
Because they didn't want their sex droid to die.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. So let's go to the reviews unless anyone else has anything to add.
No replicants, please.
I've seen things you can't even imagine, Brian.
I've seen. What have you seen?
Things you can't
Things
even
you can't
imagine.
imagine.
What were you 2
How would I
seconds ago?
explain them to you if you can't
Okay,
even
Roy,
imagine
Roy
them?
Batty explained it to Deckard in Blade Runner.
Yeah, but he did
I've
it
seen
bad
things you
because
can-
it doesn't make any sense. It's like
I've
I
seen
can be
C
more
beams glitter
powerful than
over
you
10
can
cal-
possibly imagine. Well, that doesn't help me any because I have no frame of reference for things that I can't possibly.
His power's over 9,000.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I've seen C beams glitter over 10 houses.
Yeah. We know. But
Alright.
like I've become more powerful than you can possibly imagine. Is like the shortcut for every lazy writer and script writer ever.
Okay.
I have no frame of reference for how powerful this person is, so I'll just say it's more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
All right. Enough of that.
I have issues with that.
Are you done?
No,
That's why
probably
we need more He-Man movies, because there,
Oh,
obviously, when you become powerful, you get gold-plated.
not. Yes.
It's
Yes.
awesome.
Super Saiyan.
All right.
You turn into Saint Seiya.
You do. You become effeminate.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Like Murdock.
Well, sure.
Stop waving your hand in the air.
I can't. I can't. It's just,
It's just flopping
It's
out there.
attached. Otherwise, I'd take it off.
Please don't take it off.
See, I used to get respect in this podcast, but now I don't.
When was that? Was that when you were doing it alone?
It was yes, locked in a bathroom by
Yes.
myself with heavy breathing. That's
I'll show you respect. Hey, you like that?
all right. Okay.
That's not actually respecting yourself.
Who's your daddy?
It's something that can be substituted for it. It's advanced respect substitute.
Oh, like Splenda.
Yes.
No, now it's a stevia.
Oh, that still make fat come out of your ass,
No.
like Olestra.
Speaking of
think
fat
you
coming out of your
are,
ass,
you're
though,
doing it wrong.
Speaking of fat coming out of your ass,
Is this
a-
video-
How can
related?
how can there be a
No.
segue to this
far,
conversation?
far beyond video games, but it was scary just nonetheless.
Oh,
They were talking on KVPI this morning about scientists have discovered a virus that actually creates fat cells in your body.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, they're called donuts.
It's one of those.
Well, no.
It's it was one of those. That's one of those studies that will never get published in a peer-reviewed
Oh, I'm
journal.
sure, but
So-
of course, the radio announcer's joke was, "I think somebody sneezed on my ass."
Yeah. Yes, snot. That's
oh,
what it
wax
was.
is hilarious.
All right. So I have a review.
You need to be more assertive in this podcast if
I
you want it to
can't.
go in the direction
there's,
you want it
there's
to.
too much funny coming in.
It's
that
gonna
I'm
wander
trying
in
to
the
dam the
to
funny
and
in.
fro if you don't actually.
I'm trying to build a dam to contain the funny.
Well,
all
reviews
these
are a good
holes
way
be-
to do that.
Yeah,
They'll bring
because they're
everything to a screeching halt.
Screeching frickin'
Oh,
halt.
and that would be the reviews, wouldn't it?
Yes.
That's why he said reviews would do that.
Yep.
yes.
Yeah, it's all in the words. You gotta
So
listen.
I borrowed Angry John's copy of Prince of Persia. The
Oh,
new
what?
The new
Oh, over the
one.
360.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you mean the one that was for the Atari ST?
Yes. The one for the Commodore 64.
It looks pretty cool. I like the art style a lot.
Well, that's about the best thing for the game, actually.
That's too bad.
Well,
Isn't the review really lackluster?
You don't like playing those kind of games much.
Well,
The
here's-
reviewers, the thing they all seem to really like is Ica. Does that hold true?
well,
Or is
first
she
of all,
not Goth Lolita enough?
no one is goth lily enough for me. Too old.
What?
Oh wait.
goes
Oh,
it.
did I say that out loud?
There goes the hand again.
Lawrence Chris Murdock on Oneida. Oh,
Send your comments to.
First of all, in answer to your question, Brian, what was it again?
Man, that wrist is just distracting the
all
hell
right.
out of me.
You said you didn't like it, but I said that you don't really play those type of games
Oh,
much.
well,
So.
the thing is that I stopped playing the platform games, even though
That's not totally a platform though. That's kind of a stretch.
I mean, there's platforms and there's jumping involved. It's a platform.
Yeah, but it's all 3D and it's more action. It's
yeah,
not.
but it's still considered a platform game. I mean, in my mind, it's. I mean,
you can have
we think
3D platform.
yeah, you can have a play. Yeah, but
Prince of Persia isn't that different than like Mario Galaxy. I mean, it's
And-
like base
Yeah.
mechanics go. They're in the same genre.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I don't mind platform games. It's just that, back in the 16 to 32-bit era, I just got really burnt out on
I
them.
thought you were gonna say back in the 1630s when I was playing.
Yeah.
Boy, Assassin's Creed just went by.
Yeah, but, back in the 16 to 32-bit era, I just got really burnt out on it. And a lot of it was just, let's pad out the game by collecting 100 of these things. Or 5 of these things, and after a while, it's like, okay, this.
Yeah,
is
you
just
never
not
get
fun.
tired of Metroid.
Well, Metroid isn't like that.
Does that mean you skip Jack and Dexter?
Yeah,
That's a crying shame.
I don't. I mean, I just got really burnt out on just platforms in general, and I just didn't want to play any of them. I mean, now that you say Jack and Dexter, I may have an inkling to maybe try it out, but
That was one of the gems for the PS2 for me.
That says a lot coming from you.
It sold
Yeah.
a lot of copies of that game too, so it was
Yeah.
pretty popular.
But and in an answer to your question about the female lead in the character, she is the most interesting character in the game. But that's really the extent of it. I mean,
Yeah, but there's like
So
whole
does that mean
co-op
the
thing,
bar
too,
isn't
though.
very high on interesting characters in the game?
well, okay.
or-
Here's the thing. As far as the story and everything goes, I mean, I haven't played any of the previous new 3D Prince of Persias.
But
So
this
like
is
Sands
supposed
of
to be a
Time and stuff of
reboot
those,
anyway.
I haven't played those. So this is my first 3D Prince of Persia.
Okay.
And to be honest, it's the first Prince of Persia I've played since Prince of Persia on.
Yeah, we know. Running along to the
Apple.
side, falling on spikes, dying.
Yeah,
Then you get bored and you start playing Dark Castle instead.
yeah. So
Zork.
so I really didn't have any reference as far as any of the Prince of Persias. So I just came this as like a complete newbie.
And it's supposed to be a reboot, so that should have been a good point
Yeah,
of view.
And the first thing is the graphics are beautiful. I mean, it is a beautiful game.
Yeah.
But beyond that, the gameplay it gets really boring very quickly. And the big thing is that you can't die in the game. That the chick that you help, she's basically your lifeline. So if you like mistime a jump, she'll just come and rescue you.
But she's basically a quick load, though.
Yeah.
I mean, she still takes you back to the last save point, essentially.
No, not even that. Like if you reach a solid ledge, and then you make a couple of jumps and you hit the next solid ledge. If after that solid ledge you start jumping and you mistime a jump, she'll just take you back to that last solid ledge. So it's just like it's more incremental as opposed to having to restart the whole level.
Or
over.
section, or
Yeah, exactly.
so you only ever lose like what 5 seconds worth of effort or so.
5-10 seconds at the most.
Like they made the game too easy almost.
Almost. I mean, it's kind of a weird. It's a different way of, I guess, making a game because we're so used to having a game where you have lives and if you die, that's it. You have to continue and stuff like that. That's what we're all used to. This is just a different way of doing it. Yes, you died, but you didn't really die. You just misstepped and have to do this.
Would you
little
like to
section
keep
over.
enjoying yourself? Yes,
Or like-
no.
Or like, well, you were obviously good enough this game to make it to this point. So let's assume that you're still good enough to make it to this point,
Yeah,
which has some validity in terms of gameplay.
yeah, but
It sounded like the most disappointing thing from Yahtzee's review was the bit that the difficulty level was basically flat across the whole game.
yeah, it's not. I mean, when I started the game, I didn't really have too much difficulty other than the controls, which seemed a little stiff. But once I got used to it, the whole game. I mean, it doesn't get any harder. It doesn't get any easier. It's very, very consistent, and it's not a terribly difficult game to begin with.
Mm.
I mean, if you're pretty average at games, you should have no problem with it. I mean, I'm not.
terribly average at games.
Well, I mean, I'm not, Luigi Purple Coin Challenge guy, but I'm fairly adept at these games. And when I played it, it's like, by the time I was done, it's like, well, I'm like, almost halfway, not halfway through the game, but I'm about a quarter of the way through the game right now in about a day's time. So I figure if it continues to be that level of difficulty, I can see myself probably beating the game in about a week. So,
Well, 10 to 15 hours is pretty average these days.
yeah. But the thing is, I have no interest in playing the game because it's boring. I mean, there's
the
no-
story
The
isn't giving
challenge
you a
is
hook
gone if
for
it's
it.
just flat
Well,
through the whole game.
the story for the most part is, please save our land, blah blah blah. This is what happened, blah blah blah. It's kind of cliche, but the character, especially the female character, was Elika. She's very interesting and helps, liven it up a bit. But it's not enough incentive for me to want to play the game because the game is boring because there's no risk involved
So
in
what you
doing
want,
anything.
what you want actually is a more painful game to play.
I would like a game where
It hurts
there's
you.
more risk involved. I mean,
So there's more punishment when you fail.
yeah, because that's the whole point of failure.
This is why you play shooters.
Well, there's that. But I mean, if there's no I guess punishment for dying, or if there's any
You're left with just enjoying the game.
well,
Because otherwise, it might reduce the value of your gaming accomplishment.
no, it doesn't. It's just boring. It's
Which is understandable. If it's not fun, then, well, it's
and,
why are you playing it?
and it's not fun because it's like, okay,
Well, if there's no
well,
risk, what reward is there?
Exactly.
Yeah, I can understand that to a point. Because we're used to playing old school games where it was hard and there was a reason. When you got through it, you felt like you accomplished something because
But-
you had to work at it.
but
or,
I also
or it
think
sounds like they just haven't found a good way to make the game challenging and have removed. They haven't been able to completely move outside that standard game system and still make a good game out of it.
yeah, and exactly what Brian said. It's just there's no risk involved, so you can just be a complete madman and jump into holes whenever you want.
That doesn't sound so bad.
Well,
You put it that way.
well, yeah, but I mean,
I want to know what's in them holes, maybe.
yeah, but
Maybe.
99% of the time it's flaming hot death.
Well, it's good that
Which you apparently don't die
then.
from.
Yeah. So, and there's a lot of collect 60 of these, collect 50 of these. Blah,
Have
blah,
you
blah.
tried the Prince of Persia game on the DS?
No. Should I?
You have to try my copy of that. It's a card RTS. It's actually
I
kind of
remember
cool.
you telling me about that weird game.
It's a real side
Is
thing
that one
for
even
the
an
games.
RTS? I thought it was turn-based.
Well, yeah, it is turn-based, but I mean, it's still you're fighting army to army, even in a turn-based. But you're using the cards in place of action. It's really unique. I thought it was kind of a cool way to play
And
the
also
game.
the whole thing about dying, that also applies to battles. You can't die in a battle.
That just sounds stupid to me.
Yeah, when you're fighting an enemy and you're only really fighting one enemy at a time, it's literally impossible to die in a battle. It's just, you get hit, then they're like, okay, get up, and you get back up. The boss regenerates a little of their life, and you keep going and battling.
I mean, it sounds like they just need to come up with some better mechanics for it. Because, I mean, if you take, like, a racing game, if you've got a racing game where when you crash, it's over and you have to restart the level, you don't have to do that. There's perfectly good racing games where you crash, you get to keep going, and you lose a couple seconds. And they've got a structure where you're just trying for the best time, where that's, enough of a disincentive that it still feels good when you get it all perfect. So,
And the bane of my existence is in this game, quick time events.
oh, yeah, there are a lot of those these days.
So when you're in a boss battle and he's gonna, slash you with his big old sword, keep
Get ready
tapping
to
that
press
X button
X.
to get out of it.
Yep.
Always fun. So you got anything, John?
For what I've been playing?
Yeah.
Started in on the Force Unleashed yesterday. So far, the most entertaining thing is being able to pick up stormtroopers and dangle them over chasms.
Yeah, that did look like a lot of fun.
It's pretty entertaining because they even do things that, like, if there's a railing nearby, they'll try and reach for it, and if they grab hold of it, you can sort of yank them back off of it
Yeah.
and push them back
Can
over
you throw
near
two
it
of them
and
into
yank
each
them
other?
away again. Yeah.
Cool.
There's some silly stuff to play with. I'm not sure it's a good game, but there's some fun things
I heard
to
it was
play
a
with
decent
in it.
game. It was
That's
just
what
fun to
I heard.
play with.
I heard it was kind of like the game was very, very okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't awesome, but it's like, well, there's a lot of great game mechanisms in this game. I don't know how much of a game there is in this game, but
It's
the
like they didn't
mechanisms
make a
are
great
excellent.
game around it, but a lot of the stuff you can do is just fun to do,
Yeah.
so you enjoy playing that.
And Steve, you got anything?
I got nothing.
Brian, you got anything?
Yeah, I was pretty lucky this, I think it was like Saturday, I got a copy of, it's like Friday or Saturday, I think. I went to a GameStop looking for a PS2 to PS3 adapter to see if anybody had stocked them. And apparently they're very hard to find. I had to find one on the forums this weekend, but...
Oh, I think Murdock's actually sitting on your Crossfire thing. I found it in my closet, by the way.
Oh, cool, finally.
No, I
Well,
have it right here. I think this is it.
yeah. Anyways, they didn't have that, but they had a copy of Time Crisis 4 for the PS3. They came with a GunCon 3.
I
and
thought-
it was
I
for
thought you
$40
owned that.
bucks. No, for the PS3.
Oh.
That's the newest release of it. And this new GunCon's crazy. It's got 6 buttons on it and this little add-on piece on the front of the muzzle of the gun where it holds over. It's almost like a side control for an AK-47 or something. But it's got its own little analog stick on it and crazy.
Weird.
But the game's a lot of fun, though. I totally enjoyed it.
Don't
It's
they
pretty
just
cool,
need
too.
One button for a gun con, really?
No, you actually use 2 or 3 depending. Well, originally you used to be able to use the side gun or the side buttons on the gun for reloading things like grenades or things. That kind of made sense. I mean, the utility of it made a lot more sense. But I think they've planned this gun to be able to be used for just about anything because it's got 6 buttons and then these 2 analog sticks on it, and I don't know. It's wacky.
As long as they don't use the gun for Gun Survivor 2.
Yeah, weird. Yeah. Oh god, horrible game. Anyways, the game it's great. They every time a Time Crisis comes out, they innovate it just a little bit more. There's some function they add to it that's pretty cool. And in this one, it's kind of cool when you Time Crisis is basically a gun game that you push a button and you step out of harm's way, and at the same time you reload your gun.
Didn't they have a foot pedal that you could also get for some of the PS2 ones?
Yeah,
So
the
you could
PS2
get,
ones you
the
could actually
whole
buy an
arcade
aftermarket
thing, right?
foot pedal, which I bought one. Pretty cool, by the way. I'll add. They didn't offer that for the third installment, but you have a button on your 6-button gun con anyways, so you use that and you step out of the way. But the cool thing is you have 4 weapons to choose from. While you're stepping out of the way, you can pull your trigger and swap from weapon to weapon. So, and certain enemies you shoot automatically fill your ammo for those weapons. So it's kind of intuitive after a while. You see you got to shoot the yellow guy to get your machine gun ammo, et cetera, et cetera. But the graphics are top notch. The one thing I was worried about with the PS3 and the fact that you're playing on an LCD TV for this generation is how are they going to make the gun con work? And they solved that problem by adding these 2 little bars with this rubber matting that comes in them. And you just hang the little bar on the front of your TV, and the rubber matting counterweights on the back of the TV. And it's really cool. It just hangs it over enough that you have this little sensor, and you get 2 of these that you plug into your USB. So it's real
with,
easy to put on any LCD, and they work great. You just calibrate it at the beginning, and you're good to go.
So with that and the Wii sensor bar, you got a whole LED frame going on.
You're
Yeah,
gonna need
so
some
you've got-
scaffolding.
Well, these are nice because they're only like 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch, and they're cool because the little rubber thing on the back just attaches to. There's 4 little holes on there, and it attaches into the holes on the matting itself, so you could adjust it to fit on a square TV, a rounded LCD,
Huh.
pretty much anything you're going to put it on. And then it's got this little counterweight cylinder on the back end of the rubber matting, so it hangs to balance it on the TV. Really well designed, I think. I was impressed by it, and I got all this for $40 new, so couldn't really argue getting a Guncom with the game. So
Who does that series? Is that Namco?
Namco, yeah, they're the Time Crisis, yeah. Definitely a fun game. I've always loved the Time Crisis gun games.
When you get some time off, when you're not sick with whatever,
Sorry.
I still need to check out Little Big Planet.
Oh
Danger
yeah,
Fever.
in fact, I just bought a third controller from a guy online, super cheap, and I did find one of those PS2 to PS3 adapters, so now I can plug in any of my old PS2 controllers too. So we can get up to 4 players on it now, and that's really what I was trying to do, is get enough controllers I could play 4 people on it and really enjoy
So now all
it.
you need to do is make a level that looks like a vagina, and you'll be set.
Yeah, and we'll make little sex droid sack boys or girls or something. Yeah.
Well,
That doesn't sound sexy at all.
some guy
No,
like
it sounds sexy though.
some guy with by using the editor for Little Big Planet made his own difference engine.
Yeah, there's been a bunch of that kind of stuff actually.
Yeah,
Well, you saw that Shmup, didn't you? The guy that made the Gradius look alike.
yeah, that got
That
pulled,
was
that got
hilarious.
pulled off the downloads for Little Big Planet real quick.
Oh, I'm sure it did, but the video was hilarious. It was awesome. It was pretty impressive what you could do with the game.
Because that's really the best way to build your community is make sure to take down all the best.
Yeah.
Well, no, the Sony added to their terms of service that anything that was based off of previous copyrighted work would be
Yeah,
removed
I know.
immediately.
Still
Yes,
an
it is.
awesome way to build a community.
Yeah, it's the same thing they do in Second Life. It doesn't mean it's still lame,
Yep.
or doesn't mean it isn't still lame.
But I was thinking about Prince of
doesn't
Persia. I
mean?
think I would like the Sands of Time trilogy more than I would like this one.
You need to go back and play the earlier 2 games on there, because I think they're much better games the way this one sounds.
I would need to find someone that has a copy of it.
You played Assassin's Creed, didn't you?
Yeah, I own it.
The first 2 Prince of Persias are a lot more like that, I think.
Or you could just play Assassin's Creed.
Could just play Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed.
It's a great game by any.
Can't argue with that one. That's I need a game to play. What have you played? Assassin's Creed? Nope. Well, there you go. Have fun.
Yeah, and I think you can get a copy of it at most stores now for like $20 or $25.
Or you can borrow mine because
It's
I've loaned
cheap.
my 360 to Roger because his DVD drive broke.
Oh,
so-
I already
I was
own
going to
that.
ask you where
I
that
already
was.
own Assassin's Creed.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I wasn't. I got my class going on and stuff like that, so I'm not.
Yeah,
gonna use it.
so
I'm
no
like,
time. Gotcha.
Just use it. I'll keep my drive over here and get it fixed.
That would explain why your gamer score hasn't gone up.
My
You know what I
gamer score
love about,
never goes up, dude.
Oh.
So
You know
when
what
are
I
you
love
going to
about
make
the-
an avatar, damn it?
I did.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, no,
you
I
mean
saw
Murdock?
yours. I was happy about that. Good work.
Mine looks like Joe Satriani.
Murdock here is the one
He's
that's
like
totally slacking.
Get Smart or Agent X or something. Nobody knows what he is. He's just
All
the
right.
shadow in the background.
Here's the thing.
Oh no.
Oh, look,
I'm
you opened
never-
a can of worms.
Okay,
Big
okay.
thing
When
here.
the whole Avatar thing came out, I found a way to bypass the whole thing, which is actually it's very easy to bypass. So, if it's not required of me to make one, I will never make one.
Is this
It's-
just
it's
a
required.
protest because you don't want M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong doing Avatar: The Last Airbender?
What? Was that a sentence? I didn't
It
know.
was. These guys knew what I was talking about.
Well, okay. So it has nothing to do with whatever Avatar movie is coming out.
Shyamalan Ding Dong.
With M Night
Shyamalan Ding Dong.
Shyamalan.
M. Night Hostess cream
Yeah.
cakes.
It has nothing to do with that.
M. Night Phenomena.
Yeah, M Night Phenomena.
M. Night Wanamanabadum.
My whole thing with the Avatar, it's really gay. Thank you.
You're
This is
totally
really
letting us
gay.
all down, dude.
Yeah.
Why?
Your profile is boring and dull and leaves
is.
this horrible black shadow thing when we scroll through our friends list.
Okay.
Stop being that horrible
Why
thing.
should I care about avatars? You already know what I look like. And
Well,
even
it's
if I
not
made
about what-
and even if I made an avatar, it would look nothing like me.
You should
Well, that's
be
the whole
okay.
point. Is you don't have to make it look like you. You can make it look
All
like
the
anything you
avatars
want.
that I've seen of all you clowns look exactly like you.
I've
No,
got
mine
3
looks like
friends that make
Joe
it look like.
Satriani.
Well,
I've got 3 friends that made avatars completely unlike anything
See,
they look
John-
like. It's
John
just fun to
Angry-
make something different.
Angry John predicted that if I make an avatar, it'll be a female.
Yeah.
So
Well, and you know, you can make one in about 5 seconds flat. You like
Yep.
hit the make avatar
much.
thing. It shows you the screen full of avatars. You can say
There's
that
like
one.
40
and
to
you're done.
choose from.
Okay.
Yeah.
I played around with it for about 5
You should-
seconds.
you should be a
and I'm
furry.
like, okay, this is like really, really stupid.
You should be a furry.
Did you make a me?
No.
You didn't make one of them either.
Why would I make a me? There's no game that requires that I make a me.
Instead, you just get a randomly generated one.
No, I mean,
Yeah, but you actually see me's in the back of other games. It's kind of cool. You see your friends just floating around randomly while you're playing a game. It's kind of funny, actually.
well,
I was, in
Murdock
fact, that
doesn't
was
like
the first.
fun.
The
No.
first time I played the bowling game after we had set up all of our avatars, I unintentionally threw the bowling ball backwards. And I turn around and I see you jump up, and I was just rolling on the floor like, "Hey!" I knocked Steve up in the air. It's like,
Because
"Ah,
when you're
look at-"
playing like Wii Sports, you play with your me, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So
But
if you
your
don't
other
make
Mii's
one, you just get
randomly
like a
populate
random
the alley.
thing.
It's kind of funny.
okay. So first of all, when I bought my Wii, I bought it used and it didn't have any games on it,
Oh,
Okay.
boo-hoo.
so I didn't get
Aw.
Wii Play
Murdock doesn't like fun. Just deal
No,
with
we're
it.
saying this isn't about you.
or Wii.
Yeah.
We're
Sports.
saying you need to make an avatar for us.
Yes.
Yeah, don't make it for your enjoyment. Make it for ours.
Well, okay. First of
Especially
all,
on the Wii.
okay. First
Bowling
of all,
just isn't the same without
first
it.
of all, you are the only person in this room that has a Wii. I mean, we all have Wiis, but
What are
you
you
and I
getting at?
have the actual
What-
system.
What are you saying?
So, if I were to make a me, only you would see it.
Well,
Okay,
you don't need
so-
to make a me. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, and
It's got horrible online connectivity anyway.
Gee.
It has online connectivity?
Wait a minute.
I've been missing out.
We are
Except
not
for updates.
confronted daily with your lack of attention to avatar making.
Yeah, you look like a freaking shadow from B5. It's like Bester sitting in the
I
background.
know, yeah.
It's an androgynous shadow too.
You can't tell what it is. It's-
Keeps-
Why
your
is-
your avatar keeps asking up to me and asking me what I want.
I keep
My
wondering if you're
avatar?
like the
Yes.
evil Sonic or
Does
something
it?
back there.
It does. It keeps going, what do you want?
No, oh my god. Why is this a big deal? Why does anyone care?
Because we have to look at your lack of avatarness.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking hurt.
It's our hole in our soul.
Again, it's not about you. It's about us.
Not about
So you
you.
can see my female generated avatar and go,
Yes.
well, that's
Whatever it
something like
is.
my-
We
I don't care if
we-
you make
we
a
really-
smiley face looking motherfucker. Just make something.
so you can stop looking at blackness.
Fill
maybe,
the void.
maybe it's a reflection of my soul. Has anyone figured that out yet?
No.
No, not
That-
really.
that's
Can't
not
reflect
true.
black. Black doesn't reflect. It does suck up sunlight, but reflecting not so much. Start
You're
with the
reaching.
reflecting. Be the bicycle reflector.
Okay, I am Dark Link from Adventure of Link. Are you happy now?
You know, more like the evil Sonic because you're so
Not the
androgynous
evil
looking.
Shadow the Hedgehog? Oh, God.
Oh
evil
yeah,
tails.
that's
So-
it.
so
He's
now I
just
may
gonna
have to
be
change it so
Shadow
I just-
until.
So I
this.
don't get confused with the furry.
Yeah.
Yep, you're just gonna be Shadow sitting there blinged out with your handguns.
Oh,
Totally a pimped out Sega mascot.
So now you really got to make a avatar.
More anti-Nintendo
yeah, but
than
I also
anything.
have to care. And I don't care.
No, you don't have to care. You just have to make one.
We'll care. You make it, we care. That's
Yeah.
what it. Yeah.
There's
I-
very
I-
That's
little
like their
effort
new
required
slogan
on
right
your
there.
part.
Here's
You
the
make the
thing-
avatars, we care.
Here's the thing. I've been avoiding making an avatar because I think they're stupid. I think the whole concept
but we don't
Stop
care.
thinking.
avatar is
Stop
stupid
thinking.
for
But we don't-
Xbox.
But we don't care.
You should care.
No, this is
know,
minimal
I am
effort on your
I am
part.
standing
for-
my
for-
ground.
Oh, okay.
You know
well,
what I
way
love?
to
I will
stand
have a
your-
protest sign outside GameStop.
Oh, okay.
Dude,
No
next time-
avatars with a Xbox like avatar with a little no symbol through it.
Next time anybody's over at his house, quick log in and make an avatar.
Make an avatar.
Because he won't be able to delete it. after you do
No,
that.
you can delete avatars.
I don't think so.
You can delete avatars.
I
When you go into
think
the
he's
avatar
lying.
creation screen and you want to edit an avatar, you can go in and delete it.
Well, you can delete presets for what you've created for like
No, you
costume
can delete
sets.
entire avatars.
There's not even room to have multiple avatar sets though. I mean, it's like you can save like
Just change it.
collections of things, but you can just switch between them.
Because when I created an avatar, I was able to delete it.
Oh,
So you can delete an avatar.
crap.
Do it anyway. Maybe he won't notice.
Notice.
I will notice. Plus, there is some slight problem with me creating an avatar. I kind of have to
There's some
plug
slight
my
problem with you,
Xbox
that's
back
for sure.
into the online connection.
Will, why do you not have your Xbox plugged into the online connection?
Because I don't play online games.
It doesn't
So having
matter.
it plugged into
So how do you
My
download
router-
Have you
games?
pointless.
noticed there's a wealth of content available on Xbox?
when I'm ready to
Live?
download something off XBLA, I'll plug it in, download it, and then unplug it.
You
Why not just
wait for an
leave
email
it
that tells you to
plugged in?
update?
'Cause
The
that's
NSA
easier.
might be watching
No,
him play a
if I need to update, it's like, okay, Kotaku says, oh, there's an update for Xbox Live. Okay, well, I better update.
Yes, you're
What
not
about the
even like
games you play,
the
though?
What
leaderboards
about the
and
games?
all of that.
What do you mean
yeah,
about the
yeah.
game? What about
Well,
the
they
games?
update.
You're
the
just
games
not
once in a while,
keeping
too,
us
though.
in mind for your gaming.
Yeah.
I don't
kinda-
play
you're-
online games. Why does it matter
you're
to
kinda-
anyone
you're
if
kinda-
I'm on or not?
You're kind of doing it wrong.
Oh my god.
Like, a lot
Ugh.
wrong.
All of it.
I'm
Pretty much.
so because I don't play online games, I don't play well with others. I should still be connected online.
I don't
Yes.
want to get Soundmaster creative. My ad lib card is perfectly okay.
Ugh.
You've only got like half a goddamn console with the 360 if you don't have it plugged in, even if you're only playing single player games on the thing.
What? You're no.
There's all the DLC, all
Oh,
of the
Netflix
marketplace
rules.
stuff.
Hey, the DLC
Yeah,
you have to pay
Netflix.
for. You
I
don't-
use
Definitely
Netflix
nice.
at least once
You
a
don't have
week
to
off of
always
there.
pay for the DLC.
I fucking love Netflix
There's a
on
fair
there.
bit of free stuff that comes up too.
You know what's really cool? If you get on, turn your online, or turn your Xbox on, and go to your Netflix account where you show the movies, and just start picking stuff, and they'll magically appear every time you pick it. It instantly shows up on your Xbox right away. It's really cool. I thought that was kind of
I'm
a
going
neat
to
thing.
complain about this whole avatar creation thing on my live journal.
Well, better do it quick because they keep laying off people at LiveJournal.
May not
Is that
be
connected
may
to
not be around by
Microsoft?
before I get home. Is
they
that what
they
you're
laid
saying?
off. Apparently,
then
I
we
was,
can come on and post
I didn't
comparisons
know LiveJournal
between you
had a
and
lot of
Shadow the
people.
Hedgehog. That'd be great.
LiveJournal. Apparently, in Russia, LiveJournal is the premier "quote unquote" social networking tool.
Wow.
What?
And
Guess I had to be somewhere.
even though it's not really a social networking tool, but
Yeah,
that's what they
I-
have.
So in Soviet
The
Russia,
Russians don't know that.
journal
Lives you.
lives
Yes.
you. Yeah.
They laid off everybody except for 12 of their staff members in the U.S. about a month ago, and but they kept all their Russian staff. And there's like a fork of the LiveJournal Perl code base that's going into dreamwin.net or something like that, which is supposedly going to be the replacement for LiveJournal. I don't know.
Huh.
Isn't that a
I thought
matchmaking service or
Blogspot
something?
was the replacement for LiveJournal.
Well, you'd think, wouldn't you?
Yeah. All right. Are we done?
We were
Basically,
done
it's just the
like
people in
20
fan
minutes ago.
fiction communities that
Well,
were pissed off by LiveJournal.
Who the fuck cares about fanfic writers? Jesus Christ.
Well, same people that care about avatars.
Ugh. Casual gamers?
No, interactive gamers.
Oh my god. Is that what you're? Are you gonna?
Krukop's done. He's,
Take a
he's-
fork in
he's
it.
setting it down.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you didn't even do the outro, you dumbass.
Oh.
It's your show. You didn't even do the end credits.
Oh well. Should I do it now?
Yeah,
I'm done.
it's still
Thanks
going.
for listening.
So John's thrown his microphone in, fierce anger, and Brian's playing with this fuzzy brown.
Well, that was his
Dice.
version of /end thread
Yeah, okay.
after the interactive
Alright.
gamers.
Well, thank you for listening to the very interactive Diehard Gamer Radio.
Thank you for listening to Diehard Gamer Radio. You can visit our website at diehardgamerradio.com and iTunes, or you can email us at diehardgamerradio@gmail.com.